but damn, it changed me so much. It changed me so much, and I'm deeply, deeply grateful for everything that happened in my life that broke.
Okay, so here's my quick first impression on living in the US. I arrived to LA exactly a week ago, and this is my experience so far.
As an American, there are some things that you can truly never fully understand until you leave the United States. I moved out of the United States 2.5 years ago, and since
we have literally just had the best restaurant experience that we'll probably ever.
I'm Swedish in the US, and here is how I would summarize.
These are some things that have shocked me to my core about America after being here for nearly a month. Just their roads in general.
She came to America expecting a trip, but she ended up crying because of a complete stranger. She was visiting the US for the first time when something happened that she simply wasn't prepared for. A stranger noticed she was struggling, and instead of walking past her, they stopped to help. No cameras, no reward, no reason to do it. Just a simple act of kindness. And what shocked her most wasn't the help itself. It was the way Americans made her feel welcome, like she actually belonged. She later said she had never experienced that kind of kindness from complete strangers before. And that moment completely changed how she saw America. She came expecting to discover a country, but instead, she discovered people. And now she says there's one thing she never wants to do. I don't want to leave America. Would you react the same way?
You know why
if a
I feel
stranger
so
treated
happy
you like
in the
this?
US? I can express myself in every aspect. The way I speak, the way I dress, the way I walk, even like in my business, in my project, in my creativity, I can just be me. And you know, like I went to the doctor and I have this diagnosis and I'm like, fuck this. And it's the consequences of what happens when you have to shrink, when you cannot express yourself, when you just have to check some boxes because you have to be that way or that way, and you cannot just be yourself, express yourself fully. When you feel that you're living in a cage, and this is what happens. I'm sorry, I love my country so much, but there's something that feels so off. 2 days ago, I was walking, and I had a shirt and I was not wearing bra because I don't need a bra and that's fucking it, and I don't need any justification. But people were just looking at me as if I was a problem, because that's the reality. When you walk here, people, they judge you. If you dare to dream too big or just to dream, it's not allowed. It's not allowed. You cannot really express yourself. And of course, it exists also in the US. You have to check some boxes because in the end, it's the cutest, the skinniest, and things like that. Like, I'm talking to women especially, who are going to win, but in the end, yes, in the US, I can breathe. I can breathe there. And I don't feel this competition as much like with women, as much as I can feel it here in France. That's why I love the US so much. And I don't fucking care about what other things about the US. Because even myself, I was like full of cliche before moving to the US, but then I moved there and I fell in love there. It was never my dream, but damn, it changed me so much. It changed me so much, and I'm deeply, deeply grateful for everything that happened in my life.
There are some things that you can truly never fully understand until you leave the United States. I moved out of the United States 2.5 years ago, and since then, there have been moments where certain things happen that completely and utterly break everything that I've ever known. And today, one of those things happened. I'm currently living in Germany, and very recently I just got a part-time barista job. It's completely a part-time thing and just something for me to make some extra cash on the side. And I literally cannot even work more than 20 hours a week per my resident permit. And I haven't even started working yet, but there are some things about this job that have already broken me in a good way. As I'm in talks with the boss trying to get this job, I'm expecting okay, we'll do an interview or something and they can see if they like me or not. And the boss emails me about they don't do an interview, they do a tryout day, and they're telling me come in for the tryout day and see if you like it and if you fit in with the environment well. And when I went in for the tryout day and like all went really well and stuff, the boss asked me at the end, so like if you feel good about this job, like if you like it, if it suits you well and you think you might want to stay here, then just like write me an email and let me know by like Tuesday or whatever. And they're not saying anything about like whether they even like me or not. Like all the focus seems to be on whether like I like the job and I want to stay there. Like I ended up having to ask like, well, do you like me? Like my German isn't so good. So like, is it okay or is it like a problem? Like, how do you feel like I fit in with the environment? And only then did I hear from the boss like that, yeah, they liked me too. And then as we're going through the hiring process, like the first thing that they tell me is like, okay, the paperwork should be ready to sign in like 2 weeks. First things first, I need a little bit of information from you. And the first thing she asked me was, when do you want to take your vacation days this year? Literally the first thing that they asked me. Guess how many vacation days I get for a part-time 20-hour-a-week barista job? I am allotted 36 vacation days, or 6 weeks in a 6-day work week schedule. 6 weeks. But the thing that broke me today was an email from my boss telling me that not only is it possible for me to go on the public healthcare system, but it's literally required for me to. For context, this has never been possible for me before, and since I turned 25 and moved outside of the United States, I've only been able to have essentially travel insurance. And now through the German public healthcare system, I can pay into it and then see pretty much any doctor that I want to, as long as they have an available appointment for free or pretty much free. And the amount that you pay into it is like 100 euros a month. I haven't been to a dentist in like 10 years, and I know that partially that's definitely my fault, but I literally through like the public health insurance, it's like required for you to go like twice a year. I was like kind of freaking out when I first got the email, and I was like texting my German friends so that they could like help me understand better, and because like I translated it, but I was like, I don't want this to be like a false translation or something and me get my hopes up for no reason. And they were like, congratulations, like, but I was like really overwhelmed by it, and they were like, I don't understand what the big deal is. Like, yeah, of course, anyone in Germany who makes more than like 600 euros a month, they automatically can go on the public health insurance. And they're asking me like, what, you didn't know that? And I'm like, no, I didn't know that. Of course I could have like researched that, but like the thing is when you're socialized like as an American, like why would I have even expected that or thought to research something like that? We don't even have a public healthcare system like this. And a 20-hour-a-week barista gig would never give you social safety nets from it. Like, why would I have expected that? People who are not American will never understand that Americans systemically is so harsh and unforgiving and just cruel that it socializes you. If you're poor, if you're not wealthy, then it socializes you into having just an overall pessimistic mindset or having expectations that everything will be so difficult and or impossible that you should set your standards super, super, super low, like in hell, so that you can be easier to exploit. Why would I have ever thought to look something like that up? I'm used to a part-time job giving you nothing. I'm used to public healthcare not even really existing. I'm used to literally everyone I love around me being like constantly in this state of like nervous system dysregulation because they're constantly in fear that if they have 2-3 bad months, then they're literally on the street. I'm used to seeing women in abusive situations not be able to leave their husband because they will lose their healthcare or it will be too financially crippling for them and they are terrified of being homeless. I'm used to people working 2 to 3 jobs and still being so scared of not being able to make ends meet for their family. I'm used to things being impossibly expensive. I'm used to things being intentionally made to be as difficult as possible to deter people from obtaining them. I'm used to things being unforgiving and uncaring and unhuman. Like, I can't believe how easy it was for me to obtain the essential care that every human being needs and deserves just by serving a little bit of coffee. Like, of course, you can read and research about other countries, like, as much as possible, but there's some things that you don't fully understand until you leave the United States. I'm so angry and full of grief that our government and our society and media and whoever...
in the US, and here is how I would summarize my life when I am in the US. I run errands. I get my drink and I run errands. And it is so fun. The reason to why is because I have to drive to each place I'm going to. And then when I'm out driving, I might as well go to the other place because I'm already out driving. So I spend my day running errands and I love it. Am I wrong for this?
We have literally just had the best restaurant experience that we'll probably ever have in our lives, not to be dramatic. Let me see, put your wipers on.
Yeah.
Liberty Restaurant, Scottsboro, Alabama, has to be the best restaurant and diner experience you could ever get in. I feel like I was going to say in the South or like in Alabama, but I feel like in the whole of the USA and the world.
She's
oh
not
my gosh.
exaggerating. She's not even exaggerating.
No. So we went in and the people working there were nothing but kind and lovely and welcoming, like straight over to us with a big smile, and you know, like that southern drawl. Like the lady was calling me baby and I was like, oh my gosh. And they were really, really friendly serving us, and then we were ordering desserts and we were talking about the desserts, and then the lady, we got none of their names either, which I feel terrible about, but the lady was like, oh, this is another dish that I would love you to try. So she gave us a free dessert. We tried that there. It was amazing. And then one of the other ladies working there came over, gave us a souvenir, which was a fridge magnet for free. And then she took our YouTube name, our Instagram name, and was like, oh, I'm going to tell everyone else here about you. And then they gave us a marker and was like, can you all please like write on our wall, like we get people who aren't from town to write on the wall about their experience. And we were like, yeah, of course we can. At this stage, Scott and I were like, oh, we need to leave like a massive tip, like really, really pay them for their service and their kindness. And then when we were leaving, Scott was like, okay, can we pay now? And the man was like, no. I'm pretty sure he was the owner. He was like, no, I've taken care of your ticket. I've covered it and yous aren't paying. And we were like, no, please. Like,
and my jaw dropped. I was like, no, that's too nice. Like, it's too much.
Literally, we were like, please. Like, we don't even have cash to leave a tip. We were like, please. And he was like, no, like, it's covered. Yeah, it was just insane. They took our photo as well, like, oh, like of us on their phone to have our photo, and it was just out of this world, absolutely insane. And I am gutted to be leaving, but if anybody sees this near Alabama, near Scottsboro, in the south, please make a point of going to the Liberty Restaurant in Scottsboro. It is just 12 out of 10.
The food was genuinely amazing.
Yeah.
The desserts were insane. I got the banana pudding and it was like one of the nicest desserts I've ever had. It was ridiculous.
I don't like bananas, and I tried it and it was amazing. It was 10 out of 10. The food was brilliant. Like, I'm all here about the service, but the food was amazing.
So here's my quick first impression on living in the US. I arrived to LA exactly a week ago, and this is my experience so far. First of all, people. They have been so amazing to me. Like, they're so kind, open, generous, and just there's this really positive energy overall that I really love about the people here. Hi. The people at my new job are just so open and welcoming, and I don't think I've ever felt this welcome at a new job, and I feel so happy to be here. Whoever I meet on the streets, like whether it's an Uber driver or a cashier or just, you know, someone, like everybody's just so positive. First time I went for a walk, after 2 minutes, some teenage boy just like waved at me. It was like, "Hi, good morning," and I'm like, that literally has never happened to me in Finland, ever. And I love that. I just still need to learn to do a little bit of small talk. That doesn't really come that naturally for me. I kind of got scolded a little bit at Trader Joe's because I went to just ask for directions to the tofu shelf, and the person was kind of like, you know, yeah, okay, just come on, like follow me, and also good morning, how are you? And I'm like, yeah, sorry, good morning, how are you? Where's the tofu? I have like a million other things that I could share.
Tell me why I have only just found out that Americans get free refills when they go out for dinner. Yeah, literally go anywhere and you can get unlimited free drinks. This has never been a thing anywhere I have been in the UK, Europe. Look, I've got a lot to say about America in terms of the sugar content that they allow, some of the weird things that go on in their country, sure. But this? Americans, you know exactly what you're doing with this. You get free refills. You don't have to keep paying for that. I'm genuinely flabbergasted. I couldn't believe this. I thought Americans, you know, I thought they were all about capitalism and getting as much money as possible. This is the best thing I've heard all week. I'm insanely jealous, and I'm going to need someone from America to adopt me so that I can experience this refill thing in real life. Do I just want to go on a double date in a random American place where you can drink refills constantly?
That have shocked me to my core about America after being here for nearly a month. Just their roads in general, like 4-way stop signs. How is that not causing crashes? Because the rule is whoever gets there first goes, but what if I thought I got there before you? No roundabouts, and where there is roundabouts, no one knows how to use them. You can turn right on a red light. You have to guess that the person over there isn't going to come at you. You know, if we're going on a night out in England, wearing dresses, heels to the nines, they'll just go out in jeans and tops here. Like, you could go out in this and jeans on a night out and it would be totally normal. Sales tax. Put it in the price. Just put it in the price. Look at something, it says $16. I'll take it to the till, suddenly it's like $20, $21. Just put it in the price. I don't understand why we have to do this. There is a drive-through for everything. I mean, you can deposit a check in a drive-through. You can drop things off at a charity shop through a drive-through. Everything is a drive-through. Don't get me started on car washing places. I have never felt luxury like it. Your own shop, you can like look through a window and watch the cars getting washed. It's absolutely insane. I want to reiterate, the portion sizes here are absolutely diabolical. Our large drink at Mackey's is their small drinks here. Let that digest. I went to Swig and she said, what size do you want? I said, what's the biggest you do? 44 ounce. Do you know how big 44 ounces? It's bigger than my head. The last and final one. I go to a restaurant and I get a drink. They will automatically, even when my drink's not even finished yet, bring me a refill. Everywhere is a refill here. Do you know how in the UK, like, some places do refills, some places don't? Everywhere is a refill drink here. That is something that we need to take on board in the UK. And that is all the things that have shook me to my core since being in the US for a month. I have way more, so let me know.
Hey guys, hope everyone's well. I thought I would do another what I find about America as a Brit that's moved here. And I touched upon that their driving is a bit infuriating because they drive up your bum, and I find they take risks that I wouldn't. And I did a video about the being a Brit driving in America and how scary it is. But I want to do the total opposite. They are the most wonderful people. So you'll be my best example of this. Is I go shopping and I've got Phoebe in the trolley, and everybody is so happy to see her. They're like, hey, almost like they're lifelong friends that you haven't seen. And you don't particularly get that in the UK. I think we kind of head down, go, get on with our shopping. Whereas here, we'll be in the supermarket. Like, for example, Phoebe will go around now high-fiving everybody because that's what she's got used to, is all the elderly, like, high-fiving her. And it's the sweetest. And I know in the UK, we certainly don't offer lollipops out. That's a bit of a norm here, to have a lollipop offered like at the counter when you go to pay. They'll say, oh, is she allowed a lolly? And they'll hand a lolly. So I just think yes, they drive like idiots, but in general, they are so sweet. I truly do have a soft spot for the American people because it's like bumping into your nanny or your great auntie. They're just wonderful. And I'm trying to think of them. And they're so kind and they are so generous. So when we moved here and we got off a plane, we just had our suitcases and our stuff hadn't got shipped over, and we had our neighbour, she just turned up with all these toys for the children that were from her grandkids, and she's like, just play with them. We had another friend that I'd met via Facebook who actually hooked us up with the landlady, and she came round with a load of stuff. We had beds provided, toys for the kids. People were like, have you got enough winter clothes? Because it's winter, we only had our suitcases. And that generosity, like 7 months down the line, is still there, even though we're all set up. People are just like, do you need anything? Can we get anything for you? And I just love that. They are the sweetest country.
I want to
if you
talk
give them
about the experiences I've been having with speaking to Americans whilst being in the US for the past few weeks. I've never been so taken aback in my life. This is a good thing, by the way, let me explain. I've never been called ma'am so much in my life. I've never been called ma'am in my life, actually, until I come to the US. I'll ask them a question and they're like, yes ma'am, or yes sir to James. And I think that is so incredibly polite, and more from people that have a southern accent especially. The way it makes me feel when I get spoken to like that is honestly amazing. I've never been called ma'am in my life before and it feels great. You guys have the best manners I've ever experienced. It's actually lovely to hear. On the other hand, I've had bad experiences, not talking to people specifically, but on the roads whilst driving. James lets people go in the car, like pedestrians walking across the road, or lets a car go. In the UK, most people, not all people, most people will put their hand up and say thank you, or smile, or whatever, you know. Most people that we've come across, especially in California, don't say thank you, don't even look at you, just go. They just go and they don't even say thank you, don't look at you, smile, nothing. And we're like, excuse me? In the UK, if you don't say thank you, hold up your hand to someone that's let you go in the car, you honestly will get shouted at. Like, it's just rude. But yeah,
you come to America and you realize that all the things you've seen in a movie are actually true. Like, I was astounded. Like, I was like, oh, they really do have the grates on the sidewalk that like blow up steam, and the cabs are all yellow, and like,
yeah,
people do get mad when you walk slowly on the sidewalk. Like, every